Hey man, just giving you a quick call. I just wanted to let you know that you are so close, dude. You're so much closer than you think. A lot of these big goals that we've had and these big aspirations, they're right around the corner for you, dude. So you just cannot give up. So stoked for you to see this. P.S. We bought a Lambo. So keep going, bro. We'll talk soon. Peace.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Bryson. This is the Bryson Everyday Project Podcast. This podcast is a little bit different than other ones out there. Here, I only focus on documentation. I don't focus on quality or being professional or being entertaining. If that sounds like something you're interested in, I'd love for you to stick around and give the show a listen. You can also follow me on Instagram at BRQUSE. Thank you so much. Here's the show. Yo, I recorded a voice memo today with a call with Mina. It was the team call. And then I looked down about 40 minutes into the team call because halfway through, so the entire call was an hour. Half of it was a team call. The other half was a one-on-one because Mina wanted to talk to me about a text that I sent him regarding different models of the thing that I'm going to sell. And he just wanted to go over that with me, which I thought was great. So I looked down about 40 minutes in to the entire call, and I see that because I swiped up while I was recording a voice memo, it just stopped recording. And I looked down and it was stuck at 8 minutes. So I got the first 8 minutes, and then I think I got the last 10 minutes. So really annoyed about that because this call was actually a very good one, I would say. And even if I wasn't doing a podcast, this would be really great to just have and reflect on. So it is what it is, but it's fine. But what we talked about was I pretty much just talked about 5 different options of pay for the system that I'm trying to build and create, or build, sell, whatever. And it's essentially, why do I feel like I talked about this? I don't know. It's essentially option 1 would be $5,000 upfront, $2,000 recurring. Option B would be $10,000 upfront, $1,000 recurring. Option C would be 5 to 10, somewhere in that range, and then $500 recurring with different parameters. And then option 4 would be nothing upfront, $2,000 recurring, but a contract. Then option 5 would be lifetime, one-time payment, but lifetime access, whatever. And we kind of talked about it, and he said, I said, if you were looking to buy this, what would you get? And he said, probably number 3, which is the 5 to 10 range, and then 500 recurring, because the 500 recurring would be actually what he said was 5 to 10, but 1,000 recurring, because he was trying to talk about it from a stance of me, but also as a buyer from him. And that's what I want to do, which is cool to hear him say. Obviously, the more money, the better, and the greater success of the business will be. But yeah, so we talked about that. He shared some insight, and one of the things that he said was, "Hey man, if you can get this thing up and running by this weekend, I'll tell the people at the what is it called? I don't know. PT Domination's doing this meetup thing where they all go to Canada and Kelowna, and they meet and they do this big thing, and it's a big thing. I don't know. I think literal definition of mastermind. They all mastermind together, and there is as many people from the MDM. There's I don't know. They all are in one spot in person, talking about whatever at dinner, And so he's like, hey, if you finish this by Sunday, I can spread the name and get you some of your first high ticket clients, blah, blah, blah. And the whole thing was great. And I was like, dude, it's just the only problem is like, it's impossible for me to get it done by Sunday, because between now and then I have about 10 hours of my own personal time to work on this. Everything else is you, Dawson, Trey, and Brian, And so that, that's kind of there'll always be more. He also said something like, hey, just send me a Loom video and talk about how you just delivered this to me and blah, blah, blah. And I'll show them and get in cahoots with me early. He said that he can have these guys get in cahoots with me early so that by the time I am selling, they can get something and shoot the shit, whatever. That's what he said. And very cool. however, just want to make sure that this product is as good as it can be and it tracks everything that I want it to. I made a list of launch ready items that need to be incorporated for me to feel good about this being, available. So made a big long list. A lot of the shit on here is already in there, but I just want to go back, polish it off, test it. And then as I do it, I want to record videos of everything as I go. I honestly think that it's better to record videos when everything's done. That way, if I think of a better idea later on and then I need to edit something, that won't be missing from the video that I already recorded. And there's a few projects that I think would be killer, and one of them being client check-ins, but the actual client check-in form that they fill out will be here on Notion rather than on Everfit or Trainerize or whatever. Now, there's a lot of drawbacks with doing that, but I don't know. It's fully automated. The system is, tracks everything. That would be insane. That would be. I wish there was some way to tie the forms in to one another. Maybe there is if they click a link or something like that. I don't know. I'm not really sure. But anyway, I made a big long list, and I don't know how many there are. They're not numbered. It's all checkbox. So if I just quickly look at it, it's probably 20 to 30 different pages and databases and tables and stuff. And I've probably got half of these. Some of them are very, very simple. A birthday log, so I can see whose birthday's coming up in how many days, their age, etc. And that would be extremely simple. Then we have other things like an achievement log, or rather an employee activity log, which would make it so that anytime anybody does anything inside any page inside of Notion, it'll log it and put it into an activity tracker so that the CEO or whoever has a bird's eye view of everything that everybody is doing on a day to day. And then we can track those daily activities over time to see who is doing the most, who's doing the least, who's not pulling their weight, who is, so on and so forth. And yeah, just a whole bunch of things like that. And what I did was I copy pasted this list, put it into ChatGPT. I said, hey, give me some more ideas like these. And it did. It gave me probably like 10 more ideas. I'm like, oh, that's fucking genius. And it probably gave me, I probably asked it to give me 30 suggestions 15 times. So there's 450 suggestions and I got maybe 10, 15 out of them. I don't know. So yeah, I mean, ChatGPT doesn't understand the full context and the scope of what I'm trying to build. It was saying something like a binge buying tracker or log, where it's like it identifies when clients binge buy a lot of products in a short amount of time. And I'm like, what does it think that I'm selling here? But it's all good. I mean, it has minimal context, so what can you expect? But yeah, I like having this list. I like knowing what I need to build and what I like that. I just really need to be careful of the trap of, I'm not going to start until I'm ready. I'm not going to try to get this out there until everything's perfect, because I need to get it out there, because, I'm thinking about it this way. If I just make one sale, I'm covered financially for a full month, and during that full month, if everything went south with, I think I'll always be involved with Mina for sure. But if everything went south with Dawson and Trey, I think I'll always be involved with Dawson and Mina. Trey, I'm not so sure. But the point I'm trying to make is if I just stopped working the hours and all that stuff that I do now, and my financial success was reliant on one sale per month, that would give me a full month to build more things, to polish things off, to make things better. So one sale and I'm good, just one, which is crazy to think of that compared to fitness coaching, when it was like, okay, if I want to make 10 grand a month, I need to have 50 clients at $200 a month or something like that. Was that what it was? 50 clients at 200 a month. I think that's what it is. 50 versus 1. That's crazy. And every 5 clients that I get, if I only sold 1, would be kind of an additional client monthly because of the recurring, if it was 1,000 recurring. So yeah, just whatever, dude. But yeah, I don't want to fall into that trap of, it's not ready yet, it's not perfect yet, it's not ready to go, because I really want to make it outstanding. I want it to look great. I want it to function perfectly. I want it to be clear as day what everything does. And I want it to be very easy to edit later on. And the way that I do that is write little helpful hints and notes and stuff in each of the columns for myself. I guess that also means anybody who takes it could get a much better understanding much quicker on how to steal it and whatever else. But I just got to get over that. But yawning. Anyway, it's 9:28 p.m. August 11th, 2025. And so anyway, that's kind of that. I'm just going to work on that. So tomorrow I'm going to wake up and do that. So just continue on the brainstorm. I'll probably finish what I was working on. I was working on a leads, trying to make a master database for leads and DM sent and Calendly or calendar link sent, and how many calls did we book, how many times we get ghosted, if there was a call booked, how many times was it canceled, how many times was it ghosted, how many times was it rescheduled, how many times did they show and they made a deposit but no sale, how many times did they show and no sale, how many times did they show and they weren't qualified, how many times did they show but they weren't interested, and then how many times did they sell, were they sold. And with each one of these, there's a tab, and the tab needs to, it just acts as a list so that we can see who falls into which category. And then with each of those, there needs to be buttons and actions that are there so that we can resume normal processes from that list. And what I mean is, right now, all the leads go into the leads list, and there's a button that says sent DM. So you click that when you message them for the day. There's a button that says send link for the calendar. There's a button that says booked call. From all of these, the one that would move them to a different tab would be booked call. Once they have booked the call, they go into the booked calls tab. Now, this is where the result of the call is then tracked. So we have a button that says sent reminder. Then we have a button that says submit. Now, there's a drop down. It's called call result. And then we go in there and select the result of what happened on the call or before the call or the lack thereof. So we go in there, we click no show, then we click submit. That puts this lead, in this instance is Chris Bumstead. He goes into the no show tab, and then we still have the sent message, sent DM, sent link, and booked call, and then we have a ghosted button. So if we send a message and the last time they responded was however many days ago, then we can, maybe say that after 7 days we can click ghosted and then go to the ghosted list. But in the meantime, from the no-shows, we know that they were a no-show, meaning they did have a call, so we can understand that this person, Chris Bumstead, in the context of they had a call scheduled, like they were sent a link, they filled it out, they scheduled it, but they no-showed, and now we're still talking to them. So it's probably safe to say they're still a warm lead. So with that information in mind, we can hopefully close the sale, and there's a whole myriad of data that we could track from this. Now, everything that I just said applies for pretty much every single one of these tabs. And the idea is to make very narrow lists so that we can have three to four. I mean, I think my computer could probably do 5 or 6, or my monitors. But for everybody else, the idea would be to do three to four columns per width of a screen. So that way there's everything that they would need on the screen, each category, who's part of what thing. Then we can sort things correctly, follow up with people, and just make it one powerhouse of getting leads to book a call and to land the sale. So anyway, I think what I'll do is I'll actually reach out to Mina and see how he does leads and stuff, because I kind of designed this with the knowledge of how Trey does it. I don't know how Dawson does, but I'll have to ask him. But anyway, it's a nice, crisp, organized system. And I want to keep on building on that because it also is going to track a lot of stats, and this is also going to funnel into the automations that will track how many DMs were sent for the month. And I honestly think we should do per day because that's a valuable metric. Per day, how many calls, how many calendar links were sent per day, how many calls did we book per day, per month, per week, blah, 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 how many people were sold per day, per week, per month, all that stuff. And, if you really want to get into it, we would track how many people no showed, canceled, ghosted, rescheduled, showed with the deposit, showed no sales, showed not qualified, showed not interested. How many times do we send a reminder before the call? How many times do we sell them? All of this stuff. How many days between each action? How many times did, who's responsible for the call? Who's responsible for the lead? Who closed them? All this shit. And yeah. So I'm just trying to be very thorough, and I think that's the best plan of attack with all of this, is to go through once, make it great, make sure everything is as it should be, and polish it off, and test it out, be thorough about it, and then mark it off, say it's good, and then just don't touch it. Put it into a different file, I don't know, and then do whatever I got to do to make it look nice. I want to brand it. I want to put in my own, business name or logo or whatever else. I don't know how to do that and have it be. I just want to make everything nice because you can use Notion's headers and shit, and it's just clunky. Look, it's bland as fuck. What I've been doing is going into Photoshop, making a little rounded off square and putting some text on it, putting some, texture overlay on it, and putting some pattern, and looks like a nice button. And it just makes it look professional. Makes it look like something worth more than, a couple $100. And so I want to do that with everything. Try not to get caught, like I said, in that perfection trap. But there really is a lot of shit that I need to build, and I could probably sell what I have now for much less. But like I've said, I've learned so much. I know how to make it better, and I don't want to. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to segue out of that topic of combo, and we'll resume tomorrow. But I also got my car repaired today, and the issue was it had nothing to do with the drive axle, which is cool. So the repair was not covered by warranty, and it was like a $150 repair. They had to do something with the half shafts and shit in my car, repaired that, and then rotated my tires, I think, and then no. I asked them about that, and no, they didn't do that. They just did the half shafts or whatever. I have no idea what any of the shit means. I don't really care either. They're the pros. They took care of it, and I went on about my day. But the coolest part about today was that when you go to Tesla, well, first of all, the whole experience was fucking sick. But matter of fact, if you don't own a Tesla, I'm going to share this because I think it's so cool. So you do everything through the app, everything. You schedule a service, you download software, you control your car, you unlock it, you honk the horn, turn on the lights, pop the trunk, whatever. You can do all that with your phone. It's very cool. And matter of fact, I've got it set up. I think I can do it right now. I've got it set up to where I can watch this. I don't know if you guys can. I don't know if you can hear it. Hey Siri, honk my horn.
You'll need to continue in Tesla.
Oh, wait, why? Is it because it's charging? Well, usually what it does is it actually works. Hey, Siri, honk my horn.
You'll need to continue in Tesla.
Dude, it was working earlier. That's a bummer. Oh, there it goes. Did you guys hear that? Well, anyway, what was I gonna say? Oh, anyway, so everything's done through the app. So when you make a service appointment, it'll give you the step-by-step, where to go, how to do it, whatever. And so you do all that, you handle all that, and schedule the appointment, gives you an estimate based on what you said the problem was, an estimate how long the appointment was going to take, who's going to help you, where to park, all this stuff. So I drive up, and it says pull directly into service. So I pull directly into service. My damn computer screen pops up, and it says, hey, welcome to Tesla service, or whatever the fuck it said. And then it gave me some instructions on what to do now. And I was like, fucking cool. It knows that I'm here. It, like, how I think about this is like, I could be just parking near a Tesla, but I parked in the service area in the bay parking lot there's 4 spots available. I parked in one of the 4, and it knew that I was in one of those. Very cool. So I park, pops up with some shit, says what to do next. And I get out of the car, and some dude from behind the counter says, Bryson, welcome. And I'm like, how the fuck does this guy know that this is me? And I'm like, hi, how's it going? He says, hey, we're just trying to get the drive axle repaired. And I'm like, yeah. And he says, I see we got the warranty thing. And I'm like, yeah. He says, cool. This is so-and-so. He'll help you. And within 5 minutes, I was on a test drive with the dude, with the technician that was going to just diagnosing the sounds and the problems. He says, oh, yeah, that's what this is. You're good, blah, blah, blah. And we'll fix it, blah, blah, blah. I gave a whole bunch of different tests. And then we got back. I got out. He says, okay, I'm going to pull it around. We'll fix it. And I brought my laptop and stuff because it said from 9:45 to 2:45. So I was like, God damn, it's a whole day. So I'll bring my laptop, get some work done. And I said, oh, let me grab my stuff. He said, oh, dude, this is going to be such a quick thing. You're good. And I'm like, oh, cool. So I left my shit in the car. And I walk up to the front and I said, hey, when I was scheduling all this, it said that I could schedule a demo drive with any of the vehicles out front. And she says, oh, yeah, which one would you like to demo? And I said, the Cybertruck. And she goes, okay, here you go. She gives me a little card because those, so I don't know how that works, but which models get it and which don't. But so I have a key fob, but she gave me a card, like a credit card. And I put it near the door for a Cybertruck, and then it opens, and I push a button, and I don't know. I don't understand. I look like a dumbass trying to open a goddamn door, but I finally got it open. And yeah, so they let me drive a Cybertruck, but it was the Cyber Beast. And spoiler alert, fucking sick, dude. It's a big vehicle, and I don't care for that necessarily, but it was a lot of fun to drive. So I get in, and first thing I notice is goddamn massive, and the steering wheel is one of those oval ones, one of those rectangular ones, or whatever you want to call it. It wasn't a yoke, but it was I guess it was yoke, but with a top part. There's no, what do they call it, an instrument panel. There's no, like where your speedometer and shit is. I don't know what you call that. There's no dash like that. But there is a big giant iPad, bigger than one in my car. And everything is there. And I get in and it's like, press to start full self-driving. And I was like, no fucking way, this says full self-driving too. And so I don't know the technical terms, nor do I give a fuck. But when you turn the steering wheel of a Cybertruck, it's like if you turn any steering wheel ever, you have to probably crank it 2 full cycles to go all the way to the far end of, to max out the steering. With the Cybertruck, it's a quarter turn. Like you probably never do half. Like you never see, like your steering wheel is probably never upside down. It won't turn that far because when you turn a quarter, you are at probably more than 90 degrees because when you turn in a Cybertruck, the rear wheels turn as well, which I thought was very cool. But anyway, so I'm just driving it out of the parking lot. I go over the freeway. Didn't go on the freeway. But I go over to these back roads, and I'm like, okay, here we go. And, of course, it's a Cyber Beast. I think it's 0 to 60 in 2.2, so I had to try it out. And so I just got on the back road, floored it, and I didn't go 60 because it honestly I didn't expect it. It went so fast. So here is a recording. All right, let's see. Here we go. I'm going to get into the road here. Okay, so my speedometer is at 5.
God damn!
So I'm just going to say start, stop when it goes from 5 to 35. Listen to this. Ready? Start. Stop.
Damn!
It's insane, bro.
Woo! What the hell?
Yeah, it threw me in my chair, that's for sure. I think it was even crazier because that's a big fucking truck. And it was flying. And what's funny is I was going to just 3-point turn, and I pulled into some driveway from some construction site. And I just didn't know how to put it in reverse. Had no idea. There's no gear shifters. I mean, fucking gear. I mean, there's gear, right? In an electric vehicle. There's no gear shifters. There's no blinker sticks, whatever you call those shits. No windshield wiper thingies. I don't give a fuck. None of that. The blinkers are buttons, and that was cool. And so there's nothing for me to even look at to put it in reverse. Turns out it's all touchscreen. So if you want to go drive, you swipe it down. If you want to go reverse, you swipe it up. If you want to put it in neutral, you swipe it in the middle. If you want to park, you tap it. And I didn't know that. I literally had to Google it on the spot. My phone was locked, actually, so I couldn't Google or use internet. So I had to ChatGPT it, and it didn't give me an easy-to-read response. It gave me a fucking thesis, and it's just so funny because it's like I just asked a simple question, like, how do I put it in reverse? And I finally figured it out, put it in reverse, and then realized that my rear view mirror looks into nothing because the whatever you call it, the lid of the back of the truck was on, so you can't see. So therefore, the rear view mirror becomes part of the screen. And I just found all of this happened within 20 minutes, and insane. And after I, busted a nut over the damn the acceleration on this thing, I was like, okay, well, let's try out autopilot, the full self-driving. Because right now I have the auto steer, which it'll steer for me, it'll brake for me, it'll accelerate for me, but it won't change lanes, it won't turn, it won't obey stop signs or anything like that. It's good for cruising on the freeway. And that's what I did the whole way home. But in my own car, I should say. So with the Cybertruck, you just click a button, and well, first of all, I tapped where I wanted to go. I just cut my knee open. Tapped the Tesla service center where I wanted to go, and I clicked autopilot. Two clicks. Tap Tesla service center, and then click on the steering wheel, and then all of a sudden I was driving. It drove me from that place to the service center. I didn't touch the steering wheel. I didn't touch it. It was so unreal to be in the driver's seat, not driving. The coolest thing, I think, is that I'm watching the steering wheel turn itself. It's one thing to be on cruise control, in my car, and it's like it's keeping me straight. But it's another thing to see it stop at a stop sign, flip on a blinker, turn, stay in the lane, veer off because there's something in the road, get back in the lane, use proper blinker. Insane shit. I'm just sitting there like unreal. And honestly, it kind of makes me want to buy the autopilot for my own car because it's just so fucking cool. It's just so cool. So I'm being dead serious. I think it's so cool that it'd probably make me want to drive it even more, which is a contradiction because if I want to drive my car more so that I can watch it drive itself, what does that even mean? But I'm definitely going to purchase at least 1 month because I think it's that cool. And if I want to go again, then I'll keep it active. But it's just mind-blowing. It's like that's mine. I own one. Like that technology I have access to. And just, take all things out of it other than just the technology and how far we've come. That is just insane to me. I was born into a world where we had brick phones. Cell phones weren't, maybe cell phones were a thing when I was born. It's 28 years ago. But in my lifetime, this is what's being created. In my lifetime. I'm 28. The whole world has fucking changed immensely. Like, what's going to happen in the next 28, in the next 56, Just insane. So, yeah, I go back to I pull back into Tesla and I drop off the Cybertruck, and they say, "Oh, cool, how'd you like it?" And I said, "That was insane." They said, "Oh, yeah, yeah." And I get a notification on my phone that says my car is serviced, please go pick it up. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I walk back to the service center. Car is nowhere to be found. And then I'm like, oh, you know what? I probably got to pay for it. So I started waiting in line. And then I was like, oh, you know what? I paid for it on the app, huh? And I paid for it on the app. And then 10 seconds later, the person comes over. She says, hey, how can I help you? And I was like, hey, I've never done this before. Am I good? I just paid on the app. She says, oh, yeah, you're good. You can go. Yeah, you're good. And I was like, okay, where's my car? And she goes, oh, if you click on the app, it'll say exactly where your car is. And I was like, oh, yeah. So I click on it. Sure as shit, my car is just waiting out in the parking lot. It's ready to go. And yeah, walk out. There it is. And I was just blown away by the entire experience. Like, I pulled in, immediately got instructions on my screen. I step out of the car. Hey, Bryson, how's it going? And I'm like, hi. He knew what the problem was. Got someone over immediately. I don't know. The whole thing was so cool. And what was even cooler was that I was just surrounded by, to a certain extent, like-minded individuals who also think that Teslas are cool. Cool enough to at least buy one and own one. So I'm just surrounded by a shitload of people who have one. And there's a few of them that came in that were, you know, they were custom made or custom, they had some custom modifications, you know, the color or the rims or I mean, some of them have the license plate, you know, whatever. And I was like, this is so cool, dude. Cause I know people either love or hate Teslas. It's so funny, like coming from, I don't know, I guess the car community, I don't know, just fucking weird. But anyway, I think they're badass. I want to buy a Cybertruck. I will own one in the future, I promise. I'd like to get a Plaid though. Probably a Roadster first. But anyway, it was just so cool. I was treated well. It was so quick. It made sense. Everything was, I think it's the biggest thing. Everything just made sense. I got pull in and it's like, hey, here's instructions. And I was like, cool. Hop out of the car. Hi, Bryson. I'm like, okay, hi. As soon as service was done, notification on my phone, here, pay, boom, done. Go get your car, done, see ya. It just makes sense, dude. Not to mention I can use Siri now with all the integrations with Tesla. So there is one of the things that I wanted was clicking a button or using, you know, the Siri thing to open my charge port or unlock my charge port, because that's one of the most annoying things that I've found out is that when I'm charging my car, I have to go downstairs. Well, when I go to drive the car, I have to take the charger out. That's not a problem. The problem is that I either have to sit in my car, click unlock charging port, and then get out of my car and then take it out, or I have to go and click on the unlock charge port button so that I can pull the charger out of the car. And I can do that before I go down there, but I think it times out after 30 seconds. But I just don't want to have to worry about that. So I'd rather just say, you know, hey, hurry, unlock my charge port. And now I have that. So, because I just used the Shortcuts app, added an integration with Tesla, and then set it up so that Siri could work with it, and then we're good. And you can do that with anything. You can do it with the horn, pop in the front, pop in the trunk, venting the windows, closing all the windows. If I had a Model X, I could open the doors, close the doors. All with Siri, bro. Are you fucking shitting me? That's so cool. And I think maybe with full self-driving, I'll be able to summon it. So I could be like, hey, Henry, bring my car to me or something like that. And then next thing I know, my car is pulling up to me, you know? That's just so cool. I don't even know what else to say. It's just awesome. I think by definition of the word awesome, it is literally awesome. So anyway, that was awesome. So then I drive home on autopilot the entire time. And dude, I just love driving that goddamn car. It is so much fun. It is such a good time. I just really enjoy it. To go from here to base where my job is, I'll go to the gym upstairs. I go to the gym up there still. Going on the freeway would be way out of the way and extremely unnecessary, because from here to there, it's pretty much a straight shot and it's all city road. If I want to go on the freeway, I have to go out of my way to do so. I've been taking the freeway pretty much every time I go anywhere, just so that I can just fucking fly down the on-ramp. I'm going to say half the time. Half the time I don't, half the time I do. And then I will purposely take a way home that allows me to absolutely launch down the road while other cars are already going the speed limit. And it makes me feel like a badass because they've been going 60 and it took me 2 seconds to go to 60 from 20 or something. And I just, it's so much fun. It's so much fun. So anyway, that was a great experience. I feel like I made a very great decision with this purchase. So might be pricier, might be spending more on insurance, but goddamn, the excitement and the joy that it brings me, I don't know. Money doesn't buy happiness though, so don't worry about that. Anyway, that's all I got. Peace.